Devotion 2, Mark chapter 3, verses 20 through 35. William F. Buckley, Jr., a notorious sailor, shares a story about putting together a sailing expedition. Now, here's the leader of the world's conservative movement standing athwart history yelling stop, editing a bi-weekly magazine of opinion, hosting a weekly television show, and writing a newspaper column 3 times a week, among other things. So when he puts together a sail, he's dealing with his own hectic schedule and all its conflicts, as well as the schedules of world leaders. He wanted to take a few friends and his son on a weekend excursion up the coast from Connecticut to the Bay of Fundy toward St. John. There's another story at St. John, but that one will have to wait. His friends, who are important men in their own right, and his son, who is developing a career, are arriving from all parts by train. When they disembark from the train, they discover that a hurricane has come ashore. But there is Bill Buckley, smiling, waiting for them. He grabs one of their bags and, shouting to be heard over the gale-force winds, asks, "Ready to set sail?" His son, shouting in enraged disbelief, says, "Are you crazy?" Look, heaven and earth may pass away, and at that moment the hurricane was threatening to make it so, but calendars remain forever. This was the only opportunity for Bill to sail with his friends and his only begotten son, whom he loved and adored. The only opportunity to sail with them for some time. Of course he was crazy, but to what end? He knew that if they went to the bottom of the sea, A, the world would carry on just fine without them, and B, God would raise them all from the dead. Bill was crazy fearless. Jesus' own family, his mother included, came to seize him, I think with a mind toward committing him to the insane asylum. Mark leaves almost no doubt, saying they thought he was out of his mind. After a long discourse about the house divided, about the forgiveness of sins and the sin of rejecting faith, it is repeated. His mother and his brothers came, and standing outside, they sent to him and called him. It's supposed to ring in your mind like, "Okay, Jesus, come along home now. They've laughed at us enough." At that, Jesus disowns his own family, his mother and his brothers. "Jesus, are you crazy? Don't you know what is what? Don't you know the crowds are going to consume you for everything you have? And after all, we all have our limits. They're going to soak you like they've soaked every pop star since the beginning of history, and then they're going to kill you. Let's sit down, Jesus, with a nice cup of tea, away from the sea. I think the sea is making you a little lightheaded. Let's go indoors, shall we? A nice cup of tea, and we'll talk some sense into you." No, the boat is provisioned and ready to set sail. The crowds will consume him, but he will not grow weary of forgiving sins. He's willing even to ride upon death to do it, even if it means he has to walk upon death all by himself. But he won't sail by himself. You and I will sail with him. We will fear for our lives and wonder that the Lord God is crazy, out of his mind crazy. But he knows who his brothers and sisters are, and his mother. Here they are,